I just pulled up to the first house showing on the year. You can tell, I'm fresh off work. Um, just got off the plantation working for the man, you know what I'm saying? But still got to allocate some time for self when it comes to self-development and building a future outside of the plantation. But that's another conversation for a different day. But speaking on the crib, man, I'm at my first house showing, right? And instantly, I pull up, I'm surveying the area. I'm looking at, the scenario from a perspective like, okay, if I live here, how would things kind of play out? Like, what's the parking situation looking like? What's the traffic? You know what I'm saying? What stores are in the area? What's the grade on it when it comes to walkability? What's the neighborhood? What's the type of houses in the neighborhood? I'm looking at all these things, and I say all this to mention that I kind of like to beat my real estate agent here a little bit earlier, so I got time, walk around, get a vibe for the neighborhood, see what I'm dealing with, and off rip, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. I ain't saying I ain't trying to be prejudiced or nothing, but you see white old man riding his bike. I mean, that's kind of a good sign. if you picking up what I'm putting down, like you see white old lady walking her dog in the neighborhood, probably in a safe neighborhood. I don't make the rules. I'm just being observant. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, like, off rip, if you want to look at the house, this the house is a duplex, up down, decent amount of parking. As soon as you come in, it's a little bit wider towards the back, but as you get closer to the house, it kind of narrows out, which is cool. I don't think that'll be a problem. Only issues I see so far is I would like it to have like a paved driveway, but I mean, it's not end all be all. And then right next door is a church, so I'm already imagining on Sundays this area probably gets packed. I don't know if this church is actually open or not. It looks like it's closed, but it could be open. But on this street over, like, this is the main street, and then it's a street over right here. And if you're not from this area or you don't live over here, you probably wouldn't even notice it. But this street over, this kind of gives me an idea that this area, I want to say it's gentrified, but because I don't know what it looked like in the past. But this area, this side, it's real nice on this side. Real nice on this side, which is good. That works in my favor. But I feel like the more you get down here, you kind of get the iffy homes, which, if I'm in the right direction of progression, eventually it'll make its way over, right? That's the idea. But if I'm still close enough, you know what I'm saying, it'll still affect my home value, you know what I'm saying? So just taking some things into consideration, like I got a parking lot across the street. Eventually I might try the Airbnb thing with this house. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of branching out and doing things a little bit different. But with this house, I might try the Airbnb thing. Who knows yet? But yeah, this house looks like it's got some potential, man. It look like it got some potential, man. Especially for the surrounding area, and it's real close to my job. It's right next to some water. So I say all that to say, like, if you trying to get your first crib and you're trying to house hack, because that's what I'm gonna be doing, house hacking, where I live in a portion of the house. With this being a multi-family, I live in a portion of it, whether it's just one unit or one room. I still want to make sure I have enough room for the cars of my tenants, and if my tenants have guests over. So, like, let's say I have my car, and I'm planning to buy another car, which is side note, with this parking lot right here. I really like this parking lot right here because I plan on getting a second car and doing the Turo strategy, right? Where I could just have my car parked over here, not really take no parking spots right here, and run two plays at once with this. But speaking primarily on the house hacking strategy, yeah, like I got a roommate coming too. So that's my car plus my Turo car, then my roommate's car, and of course, you know, he gonna want to have company over here and there, so potentially that's another car. And then whether my roommate stays with me in my unit or, you know, pays extra and just rents out his other unit, that other unit also, you know, might have a vehicle. So that's potentially 5 cars. And then they might also have people over. So potentially that's 6 cars, essentially 6 cars at one time that could be at this house, right? So I'm looking at, okay, cool, I could probably fit. And then I also, not just like you don't want just a straight line of parking, because people, you don't know how long people are going to be, you know, at the crib. They want to be able to maneuver in and out. So you want to make sure it's wide enough so when they could park and get out without having to tell her, hey, bro, can you move your car? Like, I'm not trying to wake up in the middle of the night and move my car, you know what I'm saying? Or depending on work schedules, I ain't trying to do all that, right? So I'm looking at the landscape. I'm looking at the neighborhood. I'm looking at, you know, walkability, the traffic, which I've noticed is kind of, the traffic right here is kind of hot. It's a bridge right here, and that bridge leads to I think Norfolk. I forgot the name of the highway that's right there. But over that bridge is also Hampton University. So I could also advertise to students. So this house got a lot of potential. I haven't made it in yet. Like I said, I'm still waiting on my agent. But with all that being said, like, I'm taking all of this into consideration, because I want to make sure I can maximize this the most that I can, right? Because with the rates at where rates are at right now, it's going to be hard for me to cash flow when it comes to, you know, doing the normal strategy, buying a single family home or buying a house with 1 unit and putting 1 family in it and then charging a market rent, right? It's going to be harder for me to cash flow with like a 7% interest rate. So I'm coming in the game like, hey, I'm gonna rent out by the rooms. I'm gonna get an extra unit, and then once, you know what I'm saying, things get right, I'm gonna also do the Airbnb strategy, depending on if this is a good area, the local laws allow, etc., etc. I also have the potential for the Airbnb. You feel me? And then on top of that, if you don't do the Airbnb scenario, you also got your Furnish Finder, and then the traveling nurse scenario. So it's a couple plays, you know what I'm saying, at my fingertips that I could potentially use as options when looking at the crib. So I'm taking all this into consideration, man. I'm taking the cards that I've been dealt with overall in life, and I'm maximizing them. You know what I'm saying? Being in the military, we don't get paid all that much, but you do get the VA loan. So I'm looking at the cards like, okay, cool, what can I do with this VA loan? Boom, buy a house, buy a multifamily, pimp that mug out, and then the cash flow from that. Let me go ahead and grab a Turo car. Boom. That's if depending on the type of multifamily you got. Let's say you get you a triplex, 3 different incomes, and then you buy a car, the Turo play. That's 4 different incomes on top of your military. So that's 5 streams of income you just produced off the cars that, you know what I'm saying, you dealt with. And if you're in the military, you got the same cars as me, potentially. Not everybody, you know, everybody's situation is different. Some people got kids, some people got responsibilities, some people coming in the military with prior obligations as far as bills, student loans, debt, etc. Not everybody can play the same, you know, or everybody doesn't have the same cards. But if you know what's available, if you're aware of your options, you can start to correct your situation. You know what I'm saying? To put you in a better situation. So yeah, I'm waiting on my agent still. But yeah, this might be the one. Fingers crossed. We'll see. You know, we don't fall in love with no properties, but we'll see. We still got some more to view today, but I like this one so far for sure.